Episode 19. We haven't quit yet.
We're not
Dane.
I'm going to speak now. I just released my new album because Taylor and I are going steady. Yeah, I'm ready to make the beats flow. They got me out in the lawn because I'm about to mow these fools. Yeah, they go real hard. I'm in the paint like I'm James Harden. Hey.
Okay, we did not discuss rapping or anything, and Dane went for it. That was his best rap yet, and I was like, I'm feeling this. I don't want to say a word. Like I will let you speak now. I will let you do your thing, and that was good until you said Harden.
That was great. Speak now, July 9th.
I don't really have much else to say, but we're going to talk briefly about, not too much, but briefly about Taylor Swift later on the episode because she had breaking news about Speak Now. But we also have lots of other fun topics to talk about, and just keep listening to episode 19 of the Until Next Week podcast.
Until next week.
Yeah. We're back. We're back at it. It's your boy, Samuel and Dane. Do you have any other words for the podcast audience?
Drizzy D. They call me Lemon Squeeze. I'ma get him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So on that intro there, we didn't really discuss anything. Dane just started going for it, and I was like, oh, this could be bad. And no, he had a little bit of flow.
Yeah.
You know?
I mean, it's hard whenever you're just a censored rapper and people keep trying to put me in a box.
Yeah, you can't be caught in the box. Like, you are made for more than that, Dane.
I was made for that, including the rap game.
Yeah. I'm really proud of you for really just reaching for your dreams. Like, it all starts with podcasting, and then it goes into some hardcore rap without explicit words.
It's gonna have to be. I mean, most of you probably don't know who Montana 300 is.
Oh,
that's
no.
Who I model my rapping game.
Oh, that's what it is?
No, not even close. But
Okay. I mean, whatever fits best for you. That's what we need.
Whatever floats your pineapple.
Hey, you know the classic line. Whatever floats your pineapple.
What was that dad joke you saw on the Jumbotron last night?
Oh, it's why do vampires not go
to barbecues?
Barbecues because they're afraid of steaks.
I hate that so much. Samuel was laughing hard at the game, and now I hated it with all my might.
It's like ironic rap, or not rap. It's ironic laugh though, which just makes it better because people are like, "What's wrong with you?" I'm like, "This is hilarious." Like, they're afraid of steaks, and they spelt it STAKES, not STEAKS, because they're not afraid of red meat. They don't have that tick allergy.
You don't know that,
but they are afraid of steaks.
Any words from one of our sponsors?
You got to bring them. You have to bring the mic close to Lane if he has anything to say.
You guys recording?
No, get closer. We can't hear you very well. You have to talk directly into the mic, and you can say one thing you want to say.
I said, are you guys recording?
Yeah, we are. Thanks for the insight, Lane. We'll have you more from him next week on the Until Next Week podcast.
Lane plays guitar.
He does. I don't think it picked up on our recording devices.
Lane also got a 34 in his ACT.
34%?
Yeah. We allow him to live here despite that.
Okay. Yeah, I did not get 30. What did you get on your ACT? Do you want to discuss that, Dane?
Anyway.
Yeah.
Let's say it was lower than 34.
Okay. I mean, most people would be below 34.
36 is the max.
I feel like the average is like 24.
One of Mia Weiserman's sisters got 35.
Week, I was telling you this before, that for people not in our K-Life circle, when you say random names, they're like, yeah, I don't really follow that, but whatever, I guess, floats your boat. And then you immediately you're like, okay, let's bring in more K-Life people.
Fine. A rando girl I know.
Okay, that's better. That keeps people feel like they're a part of our lives.
I'll start talking in descriptions like a girl who I know who seems very old but actually isn't that old.
I don't know if we want to go down the description route. I feel like that could be bad at some point. How would you describe this woman? Just kidding. Let's just keep going. Go with what you're going to say.
She's a woman, and that's it. But no, this lady I know.
Okay.
Her sister got 35, and she does not live here. And I know somebody else who went to Duke who got like a 30.
Jason Tatum.
No.
No, he did not get that high, so he's not going to succeed in life.
That's so true.
ACT scores directly correlate with how well you do in life.
He probably isn't making any money at this point,
No,
Jason Tatum.
nothing from academics.
He definitely didn't do anything last night either.
Did they lose?
No, they went up 2-1.
Okay, and just for context, we are recording on a Saturday morning of May 6th, so he would be talking about May 5th.
Did you celebrate Cinco de Drinko?
We went to the Springfield Cardinals game.
Oh, yeah, we were
with
together.
K-Life, with all the individuals Dane spurts out randomly.
Never heard of K-Life.
And they did have $5 margarita specials.
They did?
So we got it for everybody, the kids,
Oh,
leaders,
no.
everyone,
Oh, no.
We're like, hey, let's have a good time.
I don't drink, and the kids also don't drink.
No, I did not bring anything. I just brought my voice and a good attitude.
And a flask.
What?
And a flask. And my voice and a good attitude. But no,
wow. Yeah.
the game was really cool.
It literally was. It was like 50 degrees, pretty windy.
No, dang it. No, it was a fun game.
Okay.
Because there was a good amount of run scoring,
Which is good.
Which is good.
Yeah.
But then also one of my K-Life boys won twice.
Won twice.
Really,
So
3 times.
at a lot of minor league games, typically they'll have like different games or activities
In between
for the
innings.
fans to do. And because K-Life had a big group, they're like, hey, do you want to do some stuff? And Dane's kid, not his biological kid, but his K-Life kid wanted to do some stuff. Do you want to discuss the stuff he did do?
Yeah, we were standing there. I was talking to his dad before the game started.
Mm-hmm.
And-
Aren't you,
What?
you're okay? You're not his. Okay,
I'm
Yep.
not his dad.
Okay,
No,
okay.
No,
Yep,
no
yep.
children that are mine.
Okay, at the game. Okay, but keep going.
And so we were standing there, and I was talking to him. I don't even remember what it was about. And this guy in an orange shirt, some local youth, walks up to me and says, do any of y'all want to be a part of the middle of the inning game where it's going to be bad movie descriptions?
Oh, my favorite.
And before I could say anything, I looked over at my K-Life kid, and he goes, I'll do it.
And he's like, I'm really good at bad guessing. Wait, bad movie description guessing.
Well, both, really.
Yeah.
And so in between the first inning, we went over there, and they were reading like these descriptions. He got some of them. They were all like 80s like Halloween
Yeah,
movies.
I'm pretty sure that he did not know any of them, but the fans yell them out, and you got to listen closely.
He knew Jaws.
He did. Okay.
Yeah.
I wasn't really paying attention to that one too much, and I probably should have gotten that one. But
I would have gotten 0.
I would have had it immediately just started listening because I know one of them was like the Nightmare on Elm Street, and I was telling somebody else it's Freddy. I'm like, nope, not the movie title.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that's what I was thinking. I was thinking I would have said Freddy Krueger.
Yeah.
And which is true.
And
but
I always
not
said
the
Freddy
movie
Cougar,
title.
and people are like, wait,
Cougar.
What are you? No,
I drive
no.
with a Cougar in my car.
Mhm.
Like an
Speaking
like
of, no,
a
I didn't want to
rar.
go down this route. Yeah, but what was the other games he did?
So then again in the 4th inning, a lot of the K-Life kids got to participate in musical chairs,
Mm-hmm.
in which my kid won again.
You know, how do you? So I see you're teaching a lot about Jesus,
Yep.
but you didn't really teach a lot how he would like humble himself.
I know. That's
Yeah.
because the most humble thing you can do is win.
Yeah, are you going to teach on pride next year? Is that what's going to happen?
No, they don't understand the concept of pride, but I am instilling a firm sense of you need to win or else you will be kicked out of the group.
Well, and that kind of correlates to his response. Whenever you asked him if he had won anything from musical chairs, he said, "Capitalism."
Yeah.
Like Dane, Dane is one of the best leaders we have around here because he teaches about the most important parts of life. First and foremost, Jesus, who's our number one sponsor, and then second most important, nothing else above this except Jesus, capitalism.
Capitalism.
Yep. Which part of the Bible are you really like trying to speak of, like the tax collectors and how we should be them?
Not necessarily that, but mostly the sharing of resources.
Okay, and then I guess you said like, yeah, Jesus was a carpenter,
He was
and then you're
carpenter.
like, yes, and you also need to work with your hands to get a good job and have some capitalistic
And to
opportunities. Is that a good guess of how your groups go?
No, not at all.
Okay.
It's usually me being like, "Hey, everybody, be quiet for 15 minutes."
So we can talk about Jesus, so I can tell him how much he loves you. So shut up.
And then we can go back to breaking things.
Yeah. So it says one, and then you start flipping the tables, just like Jesus did.
Oh man.
Yeah.
Last week when they got in my car and started playing air raid sirens out the windows.
That is awesome. Actually,
That was ridiculous.
Wait, did they like what? Explain that a little more.
So I start leaving.
Okay.
And they run to my car and get in the car with me, and I said, I'm not driving away. And in fact, I'm rolling down the windows so everybody knows nothing weird's going on. And so I roll down the windows, and I'm just sitting there like, please get out of the car. Please get a car. I'm trying to go home. And they're like, oh, yeah, we will after this. And they brought a speaker. and then they connected their phone to the speaker and started playing air raid sirens.
And then you left, and you're like, you can take the car. I don't care. I'm done. I'm done.
Here's a car, kids.
Yeah, this was the last small group of the year. I'm done with you guys. I'll see you in the fall.
Yeah. And then they're like, "Oh, we're gonna get arrested," and I said, "Yeah, I hope you do."
Yeah, and that's a really good transition because you know who did not get arrested, which
The
he wouldn't have
goat.
got arrested? Ed Sheeran.
The goat. Oh my
we
goodness.
discussed him last week and like, hey, there's a trial going on. And I think I kind of forgot that this, I think, has been an ongoing thing for quite some time. But the official ruling came down. Ed Sheeran is not guilty of stealing the other guy's music.
I have a brief description that I screenshotted.
Would you please read this brief description for the fans who are just now learning about this amazing news?
First off, Ed Sheeran is
realist.
the goated ginger of all time.
Yeah.
Other than me, of course.
Yeah,
And-
yep.
But it says, a Manhattan jury found Ed Sheeran not guilty of copyright infringement in a case involving his Grammy Award-winning song, Think Out Loud, and Marvin Gaye's classic, Let's Get It On. Ed Sheeran...
I heard the opening statement for the other non-Ed Sheeran scene, Marvin Gaye's, was like, hey, okay, let's get it on.
Dang it. Dang it.
And Ed Sheeran's just like, yeah, stop thinking out loud. Like, we're going to win this. Yeah, I can't think of any other quick references to his music, but yeah.
Sheeran said he was happy, or was very happy with the outcome after saying earlier in the week that he would not continue his music career if found guilty of copyright infringement over the song. That's crazy. Can you imagine just being like, you know what? I'm just not going to do this anymore. I'm going to leave it in the hands of these random people that were selected.
Yeah, like it's... He really took a photograph of that moment. I'm sure it like really meant a lot to him, and he was like, "Man, this is perfect." And you know, the shape of this makes no sense. I can't just read off his titles to his song. This
Sure you can.
I don't know where I was going with that whatsoever.
This is our podcast.
Yeah. Well, actually, never mind. I can do whatever I want because I did have the perfect takes.
Perfect.
Yep. But yeah, I'm pretty happy for him. I know this has happened a lot, especially with like songwriters and such, where people are like, "Oh, this kind of sounds like this. I'm going to sue you." And it's like, there are like millions of songs, give or take. I have no idea. And there's going to be some that sound familiar or similar. Like, you can't just claim everything because you made one song.
Apparently they sued over Pharrell Williams' song Blurred Lines. And
Oh, really?
They won $10 million on that one. And I'm like, that's cray-cray.
Yeah, I know there also was the song with Taylor Swift where it's like,
Goat.
"Look what you made me do." And
That's
I think
the worst
it
song
was,
there ever was.
Yeah, and I can't remember who it was. It's the people who are like, "I'm too sexy for my shirt."
Too
Like
sexy
that
for
band,
my
and it's
shirt.
like, okay, I'll just give you writing credits. So then they're both like writers on that song.
Dang it.
So she was like, "Yeah, I don't really want to deal with this, so I'll just let you have it." And it did sound kind of familiar, but I think it was a somewhat similar situation.
I'm so upset with people doing that because that song doesn't sound nothing like that.
I mean, there's like a slight similarity, but I guess she doesn't
Yeah.
want to deal with anything. She's like, "Okay, I'll give it to you."
After the millions and millions of songs, like you said, you're telling me there's nothing that sounds remotely similar?
Yeah, the whole system's kind of rigged, and a lot of times people are just going for that quick money grab.
You're using a guitar. I'm using a guitar. That's
No,
crazy.
You're singing out loud, and I sang out loud.
What? You sounded drunk right there.
Yeah. Well, you thought I was drunk driving here today.
You were.
Not drunk. Yeah, I guess you did think I was drunk driving. Because usually we recorded this like late, and then last night we're like, "Hey, let's record at 9 a.m."
Because both of us have things after this.
Yeah, and of course I was like, "Yeah, we'll do it." And then I forgot to set an alarm, and I woke up in a panic. And do you ever do that where you wake up and you look outside, you're like, it could be 1 p.m. or it could be 7 a.m. There's no in between. And then I looked at my watch. I was like, good. It is like 8:40. I'll make it over there in time. So I texted Dane. I was like, "Hey, just woke up. I'll try to be there about 9:15. Sorry about that." And I immediately fell asleep.
You wear a watch to bed?
Huh?
Do you wear your watch to bed?
No, I just looked at my phone.
Oh.
Yeah, I looked at the clock, I guess, on my phone, not my watch.
Well, that's not a watch. Quit lying
I'm
to the
sorry.
people.
I lied to you multiple times because I said I'll be here at 9 and then 9:15, and then I fell asleep. And then I woke up again. I was like, oh, no, it's the same situation. It could be 1 p.m. or, again, like it could be 5 minutes later. And I looked. I was like, 9:30. I'm like, this again is about best case scenario. I'll message you back. And then I saw that you messaged me like right at 9 a.m. like, hey, just woke up, got a shower. So
Yeah, it was fine.
Yeah.
But except for the robots taking over.
that happened again?
They are taking over. Did you hear that an AI robot thing sent, you know those things that like...
Allen Iverson.
No, not Allen Iverson.
Okay.
Dang it. But the robot sent that thing where you have to click all the pictures that have a stop sign in it.
Yeah,
and then
I
verify
hate
that I'm not a robot.
because I'm colorblind.
Well, they sent it.
I'm not colorblind.
It's
my podcast. I'll lie to you if I want to lie to you.
That's a very good point. But the AI sent it to a real person. They took the thing and checked I'm not a robot for the AI so the AI could get around something.
That's rough.
That's crazy.
That is rough.
The robots are taking over.
It's kind of crazy. I don't have too many thoughts on AI in general because I think it isn't as advanced as it needs to be if they actually want to do anything. But I think most people just like to be in that panic mentality and be like, oh no, we're done. We're done. And they literally have been doing this for ages.
Oh, yeah.
Like, it's kind of ridiculous.
Said that when the internet came out.
Yeah.
Which was...
Well, and then year 2000 also is like,
70s.
The whole world's just stopped working because all those zeros. And it's like,
.com bubble.
It's like, nope, it still will go the same. Nothing crazy will happen except you'll have a lot of extra food you don't need.
I like food. But
that's a cool take.
Also, what are birds, Samuel?
Whataburg?
What are birds?
I don't know. Have we discussed that they are drones? I think
They are
we have.
drones.
Yeah.
This lady...
They're AR drones. They're
artificial reality.
I guess VR drones. AR. I don't know.
Dang it.
Yeah.
You're just flagged.
Yeah. Oh, there's one outside the window right now. They're filming us.
They are. It's just
I hate
flying
those
there
birds,
in place.
But they're like, yeah, they don't have too much to contribute to society, so we'll let them keep going.
But this lady at my work, I told her that birds were drones, and she goes, "That's not real, Dane." And I was like, "Oh no, it's a real movement." And she goes, "No, you're lying to me." And I'm like, "No, I'm being serious. It's a movement that is real."
And then you're like, and I talk about it on my podcast. You're like, "No, you don't have a podcast." I'm like, "Yes, I do." And you're like, "No, you don't." And you're like, "Yes, I do." And then you're like, "No, you don't." And you're like, "Yes, I do." And you're like, "No, you don't." And you're like, "Yes, I do." And then you're like, "No, you don't." And I'm gonna stop.
That's great podcast material right there. But no, and then we hired a new guy, and I said, "Hey, new guy, blank."
Blank.
Yeah, new guy blank. What are birds? And he goes, they're government drones, right? And I said,
you passed the test.
I said, and I've never met you before. And he goes, no. And
so yeah, he's our new guest on the podcast. Yeah, welcome.
New guy blank.
Okay, and thanks for the insight on
Not
that
very
topic.
chatty,
Sorry,
not
I think
very
our audio might have cut out the entire time, so you didn't hear any of his interview. But he went off.
It's because of this generation with their phones and Samuel in general.
We are really, really improving at our transitions.
That was really good. I don't care what
it
you
was.
say.
And I don't even see it. Oh, here it is. Sorry. I was
that
trying to
one.
look at our outline, and I was partially blind, just like I was the other day when I was in a panic. I was searching all around, like my pockets, and like, where did I put my phone? Like, I can't function without this. And after about 5 seconds, I looked. I'm like, I'm holding my phone. I have an issue. I have a problem, and it made me a little worried. And then again, I was like writing that down today before we recorded, and I was again looking around, like, where did I put my phone? Where is it? And again, it was right in front of me. I put it on my computer screen so I could look at it for notes. I'm like, I need help. Nah. So that's why I have this.
We brought on Dr. Phil.
Yeah, Doctor.
Well, now, Samuel, why do you think you have such a hard time finding your phone, son?
Because I don't know. I don't know. I think we just all have issues, and we don't want to admit we all have a problem. I think we're all addicted to our phone in some capacity. If we don't find it or have it at all times, we're like, oh no, I don't know who liked my post. That doesn't really matter. I don't know what this random person I haven't talked to in 4 years is doing.
That's so true.
Yeah. I don't know how they Photoshop their picture to make them look better
at work,
on vacation or at work or whatever else. Like,
that's true.
It's kind of, I think people will look back at some point and just realize how silly.
Photoshop is a powerful tool.
Yeah, how silly all of this is. But until then, I think we're just all in denial on why we are addicted to our phones.
There's a river in Africa named the Nile.
You are in denial.
You know what else?
You're drowning. You're drowning in your phones, and you're going to be drowning in that river when I take you there and throw you in.
Oh, no.
These horrible jokes.
You know what else is in Africa?
What?
The desert.
I don't know where you're going with this.
You know what a desert is? A desolate wasteland. You know who's playing like a desolate wasteland? The St. Louis Cardinals.
That actually was a good transition. I appreciate you so much. But you know who I don't appreciate? The Cardinals.
All of them.
Who are so bad.
They all suck.
You know we're Cardinals fans over here.
At
And
least all of them.
I don't understand what's happening right now. Like, they are consistently known as like a team who just does not lose, finds ways to wins, like always makes the playoffs or always at least close to making the playoffs. And they're the worst team in the National League. They've lost like 7 games in a row.
Swept at home by the Angels.
They are so bad. And they're finding like new ways to lose. It is hideous.
Gallegos infuriates me.
Who?
Gallegos.
I mean, he's not even the worst guy. I think again, like you have to put a lot of this like on the players themselves. But we have been having some bad coaching. And I kind of am blaming Ollie Marmol for a lot of this because like what it was like the 5th game we weren't playing super hot. Then he calls out one of our outfielders, and they start playing horrible again.
Imagine that.
And he makes so many like he does not know how to put together a lineup, or even like how to maybe even like talk to ownership like, hey, maybe we need these guys like ASAP, whether it's traded or brought up from AAA or whatever else. And then he just makes bad bullpen decisions like last night. Again, they had a good chance. They were ahead. They had a lead. And then their starting pitcher is cruising. He's at 89 pitches, which just want to let you know, that is not that many pitches. If you think that's a lot of pitches,
go at least another
keep
inning.
listening to our podcast.
You can go at least another inning.
Yeah, but I mean, he was cruising, and like all their pitchers have not been doing super great for the most part. So, hey, throw him out another inning. If for some reason he starts to get in a little bit of trouble, you pull him then. I don't think anybody would have an issue with you doing that.
Pull him like a hamstring.
What does he do? He just pulls them out at 89 pitches, and then, hey, let's trust our bullpen because they've been really good lately.
They've been great.
And then, again, like the next inning, they give up multiple runs. Like, what are you doing?
I was getting those updates last night, and I was like, oh, gosh, Mayor Bear, we can't be doing this.
Yeah, it was.
Fire Ollie Marmol. Fire what's-his-face, John Mozeliak.
It's so bad. And before we had a scapegoat if like someone was doing bad because we just like blaming the hitting coach. But now we have to just blame everybody because it's pathetic.
Blame everybody.
Who?
Everybody.
Everybody in the club.
Airbud.
Yeah. Oh, Airbud.
No, everybody.
But yeah, he's just making so many bad coaching decisions. And when you're not playing really well and then you have a bad coach also, you're not going to win many games, which they have not. They're like 12 or like 10-23.
Yeah, that's a hot take. If you don't have good players and you don't have good coaching.
Yeah, crazy ideas. But I find it funny because there's literally been teams like the other day, the Bucks, they had one of the best regular seasons like ever.
Trash.
And then they lost in the first round. Their coach gets fired.
Yep.
And then like another time, like, hey, the Cardinals coach before Ollie Marmol, Mike Schilt, hey, we're going to turn our team around, win 17 games in a row, and then lose in the first round of playoffs, but it's a 1-game playoff against arguably the best team in baseball, the Dodgers, who had like 103 wins.
The Dodgers.
So you know how they reward him for his pretty solid season, and I think he was maybe even manager of the year.
He was manager of the year.
Yeah, let's fire him. I'm like, what are you doing? And then you're bringing a guy with 0 professional coaching experience.
Well, he's a yes man to the upstairs guys.
Yeah, and you know where that yes got him?
got him to
13
this record.
games below 500. It's
Schilt knew how to manage. He had disagreed philosophically with the management upstairs,
which is honestly can be a good thing. Like if you're all on the same mindset as the whole group thing, and it's not going to help you in the long run.
We're gonna sign what's his name, Aaron Nola. To a way too expensive contract.
Yeah, and then he should do good, but I haven't seen anything about him specifically, but is he a free agent this offseason?
He's an impending free agent, but the Phillies have offered him over $100 million already.
Oh, that's nuts. I think in the meantime, though, so yes, they are trash currently. Yes, I am a way too optimistic fan, and I think they'll turn this season around.
Samuel was very optimistic.
And honest, so they started to make a couple good moves. They brought up some AAA guys again. Juan Yepez, who wasn't doing too good in AAA, so it doesn't necessarily make a ton of sense, but why not? And then they brought up one of their pitchers there who's been doing pretty good in AAA, James Nail. I think that's his name.
Nailey?
Is Nailey?
I don't know.
Maybe. But I think that will help. And then Wainwright is back.
He's finally here.
He's back today. He's going to do his old man stuff and be like, yeah, you guys are horrible. Let me carry this team like I've been doing for the past 15-plus years.
And we have Wainwright on the podcast now.
Yeah, Adam Wainwright. Yeah, I like City Butcher.
Hey
there, I'm from
kids.
Georgia.
Hey there, kids. Can I show you how to throw a curveball?
I call that Uncle Charlie.
Well, let me sing this song. It kind of goes...
But
He's
yeah,
so
they
old.
great guy though, great guy.
Oh, he's fantastic. I would love to have him on the pod.
Yeah, but I think they need to move up some of their guys from AAA. They have one guy who has like a 1.1 OPS, has like 10 plus homers, I think, in the minors, around like 9 this year. It's Lukenbaker. He was in Springfield last year.
Yeah.
And I tweeted something or put something on Facebook the other day, and Connors fans were like, they don't have a spot for him. I'm like, yeah, but they could just DH him and see if he does anything.
See
like,
what happens.
if they're not hitting well, you bring up guys who can hit, and you hope they can hit. Like, it's not... It's pretty common sense stuff.
Yeah, if Donovan's not playing well, you play Gorman at second, you DH Baker.
Well, Gorman hasn't played good the last 2 weeks either.
Yeah.
Like, they're all just playing really bad, except for like Paul Goldschmidt.
Paulie.
Yeah, great guy. Another
Reigning
great
MVP.
Guy. Great guy. But yeah,
Speaks
they
to
need to make some moves there. And then also they need, a lot of times for like trades and everything else, they usually do that around the trade deadline, which is in like July.
Yep.
You cannot wait for that right now when
We
you're
don't
playing
have
this
time.
bad. The White Sox are fortunately drastically worse.
Somehow.
So I've been seeing that they might do some trades to maybe get some of their starting pitching, which
Doubt
if
it.
they did, that'd be great because they're going to be
something.
sellers like Lucas Giolito or Dylan Cease. If we can get one of those guys or even both of those guys, that would help us drastically quick. And
Why
then we
not
could get
both?
I mean, they could. And we just need to trade at some of our position player depth because we have so much depth of guys who can play in the majors. They don't get an
Outfield
opportunity.
is way overcrowded.
Yeah, they need to get rid of some of these guys so you can get consistent playing time. Like, that's what they did like in 2013 or something when they had an overcrowded outfield, and they started trading guys like Piscotty and Alan Craig and all those guys so other guys could get consistent playing time.
Piscotty wanted to live closer to his mom, too.
It wasn't really him, I guess. It was more the other guys.
Yeah.
Piscotty was later on. But yeah, they just need to make
like Randall
moves.
Grichuk.
Yeah, Grichuk,
Yeah.
and like those kind of guys.
Yeah.
But they really just need to make some moves so they can start playing like the team they should be.
You need to make money moves.
Yeah, money moves, you know?
Money moves. Bring up Libator.
Yeah. Oh, he's another guy. I forgot to
Yeah.
say that. And I think they're predicting he'll probably start tomorrow. They just
better.
don't want to say it.
Whatever.
Because I know they've like rearranged their pitching lineup in Memphis because they said someone else on the Cardinals, hey, might have an injury. We don't really know.
We don't know.
Which sounds like it's the case with some of these guys who are struggling. They're like, okay, we'll say he's going on the injured list for a little bit and we'll bring up somebody else.
Man.
Yeah. So that's our baseball talk. Hopefully you guys made it through it. If you did, we appreciate you, the Until Next Weekers.
You know what
And-
we have in common with the Cardinals?
No.
We are international.
We are international. You are right. And you do not know how international we are.
I don't.
You
Samuel
knew
does.
of like 6 different countries of just major fans.
USA, Canada, Mexico, Netherlands, Germany. What was the other one?
I don't remember, but I'm surprised you remember that many. Like, that's pretty impressive. But-
Bonjour to all of you.
Yes. Maybe if I don't know if France was in there.
Not yet.
Not yet. Okay.
But Julie's working on that.
But yeah, that is true.
That's true.
She was kind of questioning us. Again, we're talking about people that you don't really know. Again, our K-Life person, she's from France. She was questioning, like, first, you talk about me on your podcast? I'm like, yeah, it's usually Dane. He brings up random people.
Doubt it.
And I try to bring him back in. And then I think I was trying to convince her that our podcast is good. So who knows? Maybe she'll listen.
It's good for humanity. We have an Italian listener, too.
Yeah, we do.
Yeah. His name is Daniel.
Daniel, love that man. Solid
not listening.
dude. He's leaving the house right now because he doesn't want to deal with us and listen to our podcast anymore.
Us Americans. But what's the new country?
He disagreed with us. Yeah, all that build up to say our new country that most likely accidentally clicked on one of our episodes,
Saudi Arabia.
like our clickbaity episode, BK Have It Your Way, which
Love
is
that
still
one.
going off. Ecuador.
Ecuador, dang it.
Ecuador is our new country that clicked on an episode. And again, I don't think they listened to a whole one.
Bonjour.
But if you did and you're listening right now, please leave us a 5-star review. Follow us on Instagram at the Until Next Week podcast and leave us a voice memo or something. Any of the countries who are not the U.S., if you are listening, please let us know. Please tell us more about you, and we'll discuss you on the pod, and it would be awesome.
July 9th.
July 9th. Yes.
In a world where we need more Taylor Swift content.
Yes, we referenced it early on in our intro, and you probably all know about this anyways because it's a few days after the fact.
It was yesterday.
But Speak Now, Taylor's version, was just announced for all you Swifties out there, and we know the Swifties are listening to this podcast.
Let's see what songs from Speak Now I have liked.
Yeah, I mean, I know with our top list last week when we had the episode, I had them on some of my honorable mentions.
Yeah.
I know Mine and Mean were two of them, and
That
I
was
realized after the fact, because I said last week, I was like, the intro to the song, like, that
Yeah.
one, I completely said the wrong song. I was
Mine
like,
is
that's
great.
probably not right. It was from, I messed it up.
That's from Mine.
Mine, yeah.
Yeah,
I was
that's
about to
from
say Mean. I almost messed it up again. It is from Mine, which was one of my honorable mentions, so I should have known. But yes, her versions are coming out so she can stick it to the man and have her own music again.
Yeah, men suck.
Yeah, I hate them. There's so much. Why am I doing this podcast with you? You're the worst. I'm the worst. Why did I wake up this
You're a part of
morning?
the patriarchy.
Yeah. Speaking of the patriarchy, was not even going to talk about this. King Charles, I guess he hasn't been coronated yet. Like, I saw that
Good.
last night. They're like, yeah, they're having big ceremonies to be on like all the major television networks. I'm like, I don't care about him. Bring back Queen Elizabeth.
Mine, Sparks Fly, Back to December, Dear John,
Yep.
Enchanted,
Ooh.
goated song.
Yeah.
Long Live is good. Last Kiss is good.
Speaking of Last Kiss, I think that one is talking about July 9.
That's when she last kissed Joe Jonas, who was not selected by us in our
I
Taylor
believe
Swift draft.
that was what I had decided when I did my research last night, because the album is released on July 7th, which is pretty cool because that's the night she's doing a concert in Kansas City. So most likely some of the people listening to this
I've been there.
podcast right now might be going to that concert the day she drops the album, which I bet you. So she does like her, I think she picks 2 songs each concert where it's surprise songs.
Oh.
And she's releasing 6 unreleased songs on this album. I bet you at least one of those songs will be performed
brand spanking
on
new.
the release day, and people will go nuts.
Let's talk about it from a fundamental standpoint. I
Yes.
saw a TikTok that accurately describes how this works, and it's they fast forward to the year 2056. The Swifties have taken over, and
Have they not already?
they have taken over, and you're forced to listen through the air raid siren like speakers.
Yes.
You're forced to listen to her albums in order, and if you don't sing them every day at dusk, they will find you
Yeah.
and they will eliminate you.
Yeah.
And now they have your house surrounded.
Okay. Honestly, yeah, that probably will happen.
Yeah, has to. I give it a
how-
greater than 100% chance of
How
happening.
long do you think it'll be before Taylor Swift starts dropping off? I don't see it happening anytime soon.
Yeah.
But then you have artists like, I don't know, I think one of the best case scenarios would be like, not best case, but one of the similar scenarios would be like Madonna, where she was so big and then now she thinks she's big, but in reality people are like, we don't really care about you anymore. Do you think Taylor Swift will keep bringing in the new fans, and like how long will that be? Or do you think it'll just be all the current Swifties, which is a ridiculous amount?
It's majority of the world.
Yeah. I don't know what's going to happen, but I feel like she's still on top of the world. I don't see her slowing down anytime soon, but it'll be kind of strange when that moment might come.
Well, she's 33 right now, and she is working on it, like building her empire. And I think it's gonna be a case of like she can probably do this forever, but I think she'll get tired of it before then.
She'll just re-record her albums again.
Yeah,
Just keep going again. Like, I'll do it with the older voice again.
yeah. Taylor's modern version,
Yeah.
which will just be more.
The old
I don't
Taylor's
know.
dead, so I have to re-record so I can have the rights.
The old Taylor's dead again. Who would think you could die twice again?
Yep.
But that's great. And the best thing I love about Swifties is I love poking the bear.
Poke that bear.
But I love messing with the Swifties by presenting commonly known information to them as brand new information, such as
She's releasing a new album. It's called Speak Now. Like, I'm
called
so excited.
called
She has
Speak-
a song called, I think, Mine on there and Mean. Like, I'm pumped to hear that music.
Did you know she's re-recording these because she didn't make as much money as she wanted to on them or something?
Oh, and
And-
you make up the stuff for us, like not even correct stuff at that point.
Yeah.
And they're like, wait, no. It was because Scooter Braun, he bought her records and they didn't sell to her because he hates women, and then he sold to someone else. Like, no, I think she just wanted more money. I think that's it.
No, that you're wrong. I'm right.
Well,
Gaslight.
it's
is
because
great.
her old album, she didn't have as mature of a voice, and like that doesn't sound like me. So I want to
Doesn't sound
re-record
like
so it sounds like me now.
Whatever.
Yeah.
And
What is there anything else you tell them that just pokes the bear a lot?
I'm just like, yeah, you remember when she was dating Ed Sheeran? And they're like, what? And I'm like, You gotta go look
She's
at it.
actually tried to sue him, I think, for his music, and that's why they broke up.
Again.
Yeah, I think that's what happened. There was a big case about it. Like, no, that's Marvin Gaye. Like, no, that was Taylor. She did it.
Yeah,
and then that's why she had a bad reputation,
Dang it.
and that's why she dropped that album. She had a bad reputation with Ed Sheeran, who she dated.
The old Taylor's dead. She can't come to the phone right now.
Mm-hmm.
That's all I can
I
think
really
about.
wish. I mean, I call her all the time. I always just get her voicemail, but I wish her voicemail
Selfish.
was that. The old Taylor's dead.
The old Taylor's dead.
Wow, that's all I actually want to. You do it again. Do it again. Do it again. Do it. Do it. Do it.
The old Taylor's dead. How dare you call the phone right now?
And if you want to have that as your voicemail, Dane can record for you if you leave us a 5-star review.
I don't know how I'm able to do that voice.
Yeah, that was kind of. Usually you go high pitch or something strange or whatever else, and you just went deep and dark.
Are you calling the phone right now? Because it's me, Taylor.
You sound like one of the in Spider-Man, like the multiverse.
Yeah.
Have you watched that? It's like have like the different versions. There's like the one guy I think who's Nick Cage, and that's who I picture you as right now. What just happened?
Lane broke the chair.
Okay, yeah, you can't even hear this, and you don't have the context, but we just heard about.
I was like, what's the context?
Yeah, what's happened? What's happening? And it's Lane got out of a chair. So that's your context.
Speaking of Lil Dicky, I'm not gonna tell a story, but it reminded me of a song.
I think I saw something about him the other day. Again, the rapper.
Yep.
He compared his game, I think, to Steph Curry, and I'm pretty yeah. And I think I don't know if it was him or Steph Curry's like, yeah, pretty accurate. Pretty much the same. And quick other little tangent. I remember back when if you remember the Ball family, like Lonzo Ball, Lamar
Lavarion?
Ball, not Lamar,
LeVar.
LeVar
Yeah,
Ball, the
LeVar.
dad, and all the other kids. They had a little spoof when they're going. It's like, yeah, you know about the 3 basketball brothers, but you don't know about the 4th Ball, Little Dicky Ball.
That was weird.
Yeah, and they had like a whole skit, and then there's this LeVar, who's the dad, like a very strong parent, just like yelling like, hey, you got to work on your shot. It's like, no, Dad, I want to do music.
I want to do music. That's like a High School Musical.
Yeah, it's like the same idea.
I saw like a quick person telling like a recap of High School Musical, and they're like, Troy, you can't do musicals and sports because you got to pick one or the other because you can't do both. And Gabriella, you can't sing and do the decathlon because that's for smart people.
Looking back at those movies, it's like, this is so stupid.
You can't be who you are because you play basketball.
No, you can't do both. You have to choose one.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's
this is great.
That's
High School
good.
Musical's goated though.
That's good.
Living in my own world. That's it.
Do you understand?
Wait.
Did I change the songs?
No.
That
everything can happen.
When you take a chance to leave us 5 stars on Spotify and Apple Podcast. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a good ending to our main part of the podcast. But we can't end without our sponsors who make this all possible. And you know who makes all of this possible?
Jesus.
Say it again.
For the people in the back, Jesus.
No, you gotta say it louder. You always go to whisper. I'm like, will they hear this? I don't know.
Jesus.
Yes. Jesus is still #1 sponsor of the pod because he's a sponsor of our lives.
Jesus
and our
Christ
faith.
of Nazareth.
And it's the only reason we're able to do what we're doing right now.
Gospel verse of the week, which is from 1 Timothy, because I always go with whatever I'm reading at the time.
It's 1 Timothy.
Blasphemer. So this is 1 Timothy 3, verses 2 through however long I feel
Just
like going.
go. It's a podcast. You can do whatever you want until I delete you.
Dang it. Therefore, an overseer must be above reproach, the husband of one wife, sober-minded, self-controlled, respectable, hospitable, able to teach, not a drunkard, not violent but gentle, not quarrelsome, not a lover of money. He must manage his own household well with dignity, keeping his children submissive. For if someone does not know how to manage his own household, how will he care for God's church? I was reading that, and I thought that was interesting because I've read this several times, and I was like, huh. So looking at how a person is managing his own household, and that's how we're going to judge them as far as like their qualifications for overseer and how his children behave and just like how his whole family unit behaves, which then leads into how important the family unit is like all together and why you shouldn't get divorced.
He's just going off right now. I always feel kind of
crazy.
bad during this time because you start going off and then I'm making sure the podcast doesn't stop recording, and I look up and I'm like, I don't know what you just said, but it was profound, and I will know more when I listen and edit later.
Dang it.
So I apologize for that, Dane, but
It is about
luckily I
Jesus.
don't think it cut out your audio. So
Perfect.
We're good to go. And that's a perfect transition to our second sponsor of the podcast,
Jake Trustin Art.
Yeah,
Jake, I stole one of your Capri Suns.
Please Venmo us $1 so we can pay you back.
I did.
Yeah.
Yeah, Venmo us $1 so we can send it back to pay for it.
Currently, again, you're the only person who has sent us any money. And I think one of these days, we might make enough money
Maybe.
where we can buy our own Capri Suns. But until that day, Dane will keep stealing them from you.
Yeah, you left them on the table, so I stole one. So if you listen to this all the way at the end,
we love you.
yeah, man.
Yeah, man. What's up?
But then our last sponsor is somebody who's been here
Since the beginning, honestly, like
through all of it.
I would put this one number one, but it's hard to go ahead of Jesus and Jake Trustin Art. So
Pretty hard.
our third sponsor
Is liquid.
yeah, it is Mountain Dew.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, early in the episodes, we often discuss our love of Mountain Dew.
I love you.
How you're sipping on that dew, how it gives us energy to make it through our day. And it's kind of, one of my coworkers was talking to me the other day about our podcast. And like, you guys talk about drinks a lot. I'm
Because
like,
we're thirsty.
we make this up as we go along. We don't,
So
we
true.
just, whatever we see, that's what we talk about. That's why I talk about Dane and his Warriors jersey without pants on, because that's what I see
I'm
right
wearing
now.
pants now.
He answered the door today. He just didn't have like anything on. I'm like, what are you doing? Is
I
this
had
a normal?
socks and underwear on. What
Yeah.
more do you want from me?
Yeah, too much.
It's a Saturday morning and I spend it my way.
Yeah, like BK Have It Your Way, our most clickbaity episode ever, which is going off.
Till this one, because this is going to be called Quick Sneak Peek of Taylor's Speak Now Taylor version.
That's
not
not
wordy
name
enough.
all our episodes Taylor Swift, but it does help the retention when we do.
Exactly.
But we're going off on a major, I don't even know what we're doing. We're just going off every which way because we have all that Mountain Dew in our system, and they are our third sponsor of the podcast.
I love you.
Dane, do you have any final words
Yeah.
for the Until Next Weekers out there?
Me and my coworkers shared a glass of Baja Blast yesterday,
Yep.
and it started getting pretty wild.
Oh.
We were in the Taco Bell, and we were just like, let me tell you something. Tell me something good. And then some guy made up a song, and we told him to never do that again.
Did not think of going that route. But I think on that note, have a great week.
Or don't. You do whatever you want. You're a tax-paying American, probably.
Yep, and that's what he teaches his K-Life kids. This has been the Until Next Week podcast.
I have said that to them
Peace.
before. Goodbye.